that being said, welcome to the GMAP Broadcast Network, GMAP1.com. Yours truly, Pastor Kevin. I appreciate all of you with your continued love, care, concern, and support. Got to find out how she's doing. First of all, let me ask, Melanie, how you doing? How you doing today?
I'm good. It's Friday, so can't get much better.
Oh, you know what? And you know what? You know what? Every day is a good day, but when you say it's Friday, that speaks volume. Welcome, welcome, and welcome to the GMAP Broadcast Network, GMAP1.com. I appreciate you taking time out to be with us here on today. You know what? I'm just overwhelmingly filled with joy right now because you accepted the invitation to be here. You accepted the invitation to be a part of our broadcast network family. So, with no further ado, why don't you do me a favor? Introduce yourself. Tell us who you are. Tell us where you're from. Who is Melanie Willis? Tell us.
I am from Cincinnati, Ohio. I am a executive admin at a medical device company here. I have four kids. Parker, my oldest, is 8, and then I have a 6-year-old Mason, a 3-year-old Haley, and then a 6-month-old Beckett. And my husband and I were both born and raised in the Cincinnati area, Liberty Township, a little suburb north. And then recently I became an author. So a new fun journey that I'm on right now.
Wow, a new fun journey. You know what? You are simply are amazing. I appreciate that. Tell us a little bit about. I mean, you are an author. Tell us a little bit about your authorship and the publication that you are allowing to be released to the people around the world. Tell us a little bit about it.
So this is a whole new experience for me, but I'll back it up a little bit. So when I was very young, I thought, how cool would it be to write a book? And I'm talking like elementary age. And I can remember being like little and writing stories down. So fast forward to a couple years ago, and my at the time Parker, he was 5 years old, and he says at nighttime, "Mommy, I want you to tell me a story." So of course I go to like grab a book off the shelf. He goes, "No, no, no, I want you to tell me a story." So that began our journey right there. So he had me start telling him the story, and as we would go along, he would change it and say, "No, that's not how it happened. This is how it happened." And so this went on for a couple weeks where every night he'd want me to add to the story. Sometimes he would ask my husband to add to the story. And my husband's like, "I don't even know what this story is or what you're talking about." So we would just kind of make it up as we went along. And so a couple months in, I was like, this might be something that he would like to have when he's older. So I decided to write it down. And my older brother is a pastor here in Cincinnati, and his co-pastor is an illustrator and an artist. And so I reached out to him. I've known him for a really long time, and I said, "Hey, Justin, I want to take this little story that I've written for Parker and turn it into like a book that I can give him as a gift." And so he's like, "I would love to be on that project." So he drew all the pictures for me, and it looked amazing. And it was literally just going to be a gift that Parker could have, just something fun that we had worked on together. It wasn't going to turn into anything. So at Parker's school, there is this thing called Star Student, and during that week, they celebrate that student. Well, he asked if he could bring in Candy Town, which I just happen to have a copy of right here. So he asked me if he could take it in to share with all of his friends at school. And so he did that first grade, no big deal. Well, then in second grade last year, his friends started asking him, like, "Hey, I want to buy that book. Where'd you buy that at?" And it, mind you, it was a really rough copy of the book. It was like not edited, nothing had been done with it besides illustrated and me writing it down in the Word document, right? So I had ironically just gotten off of a book launch for my co-pastor at church. And she had written her book. And so I reached out to her and I said, "Hey, how does this process work?" I said, "How do you get a book published or find out if anybody would even be interested in publishing it?" So she gave me the contact of her publisher, which was Lucid Publishing, and I reached out to them and I said, hey, I have this manuscript of a book. I don't know if you'd be interested in it, but I would love to send it to you. So she's like, yeah, we would love to read it. We went through the process of how publishing a book works and how, tons of people turn them in and some get picked and some don't. So they read through it and she got back to me and she said, hey, our team would love to publish Candytown. And so I was kind of in disbelief at that point, like really like somebody wants to pick this book up. Because at that point it was just like a silly story with me and my son that we had both worked on together. And so we kind of waited a couple months. My husband was unemployed at the time. So I'm like, let's just kind of wait and see if we really want to pursue this. So right after I had my son back in the spring, I was like, let's pull the trigger. Let's see if we can, let's get this book published. And here we are. So that was in like March, April timeframe. And as of Tuesday, the book is officially launched and on the shelves.
Wow. Well, let me be the first to say congratulations. And it is an awesome, awesome thing that you have taken really what started off as a journey for you and your child ended up being something amazing for millions of people around the world. And, I can't thank you enough. For those that don't know, now you know, of course, Melanie is one of our featured children's authors here on the GMAP Broadcast Network, GMAP1.com. You can always, always stop by our broadcast network platform and click on the tab that simply is titled Children's Featured Authors. You'll see a copy of the publication that I'm currently showing you on our television screen. Click on that copy. It will take you to the necessary location to find out more intimate information and details about the author as well as the publication. And I know for a fact that there are going to be many people out there that, of course, are going to want to show their love, their care, concern, and, of course, their support and purchase a copy of this publication. And you said it was released recently. What's the process for them to do so? How can it be purchased by our viewers and listeners around the world?
So there are three places right now that it can be purchased. Amazon is probably the easiest, especially for people around the world. But Target has also picked it up, so it can be purchased online at target.com. And then Barnes and Noble also has it available.
Well,
And then if you're local to Cincinnati, we are in the process of getting it at some local libraries and some local stores. Hopefully that happens here soon.
and of course, we are not going to let them forget, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, about little old GMAP Broadcast Network down here in the lower left hand corner of everything in small print. Well, most of the time, small print is the most important print on the paper, so we don't mind that title. Once again, go to our platform and click on the Children's Featured Authors area. It will take you to the necessary location to show your love, care, concern, and support by purchasing a copy of this publication. Now, I got to say this while we're on it. If, in fact, you decide to reach out and show your support by purchasing it through a place like Amazon, we want you to do us a favor. Please leave a review. Please leave a review. I'll appreciate it. Of course, without a doubt, Melanie will appreciate it. Amazon will appreciate it. We all will appreciate it if you just take a few extra seconds to leave a review. Let us know that you appreciate what she's doing, what she's done, and you enjoyed it. Even if you don't enjoy it, leave a review anyway. But we don't want we don't want you to make us look bad or anything like that. So leave a review. Now, of course, we're grateful for that, and we're grateful for the publication. I'm gonna rewind the tape and press play a little bit. Of course, Melanie, we're role models to somebody. Somebody is always watching our every step, our every journey, whether it's a friend, a family member, or more importantly, a child. And if a child were to walk up to you today and say, Melanie, I really appreciate what you're doing. I wonder what it is that I can do. I know I'm a child and I'm just getting started, but I really want to follow my dreams. Would you have some words of encouragement to share with a person like that today?
Yeah, so that's the biggest thing about Candytown is this isn't just my dream. Like now my son is having a dream of his come true. Um, how many kids get to say like I got to tell mom a story. We got to work on a story together and now it's getting published and his name's going to be on this book for the rest of his life. So that imagination of a child, that's what made this story happen. And so as a kid, it doesn't matter how old or young you are, you can dream and it can come true. It can come true when you're 8 years old, like my son is, or you're 38, like I am. And something that we never would have thought would have happened. And I started dreaming this when I was probably 8 years old, and here I am making it a reality. So it doesn't matter how young or old you are. If you want to do it, you can do it. You just
Wow.
got to reach out and make it happen.
Yeah. You know what? I call it something that you're doing, but it also leaves a legacy. No matter what people may think, feel, do, or say, it's a legacy. It's important, and people are being encouraged all over the world to write their book, write their story. Tell what it is that they've been through, what they're going through, what they hope to go through in the future. So it's a legacy. It's not just something that was put out there and hopefully it will come true. It's a legacy, and it's important for the children that's coming up behind us to really have something to appreciate. Now, I'm going to ask you this. What's next for Melanie Willis? What would your response be to that?
So I have 4 kids, which means that I'm going to have to write 4 stories at least, right? My 6 year old's already asking if he gets to sign Candy Town and when his story comes out. So, I mean, we already got to start working on the next story so that each kid has their own like footprint out there. So they all have their own story to tell that we can share with the world.
Wow. That is amazing because it has to start somewhere, and it has began for you. And you can't hold back from the other children because they're gonna look at you like, wait a minute, where's my book? So I'm sure that's gonna be something. So it's important, and I appreciate you sharing that. Of course, again, if you don't know now, Melanie is one of our children's featured authors here on GMAP. Please do stop by and click on that children's featured authors book tab, and click on the book cover that I'm currently showing you on our television screen. Click on that book cover, show your support, let her know, let me know, let everyone know you appreciate what's being done. And I'm looking forward to what's yet to come. So, by all means, we want you to know we're going to be inviting you back as those publications continue to come out. And of course, we know that there may be some individuals that may want to reach out and connect with you, maybe ask you some questions on an individual basis. Is there a contact information that you don't mind sharing with us today?
Yeah, I have an author page that's on Facebook, Melanie J. Willis author, and then same tag at Instagram. And then I try to keep it simple, so it's Melanie J. Willis author at gmail.com. And then I also have a website with the same name, Melanie J. Willis author at WIX. I would
Mm.
love to answer any questions, and if you just want to chat, or I've had a lot of people ask, how did you get this started? Like, what does it take to get a book published? I have all these stories I've done with my kids. How can I take that next step? So I'm happy to discuss that with anybody. Just definitely reach out.
Wow. Well, of course, we do know that you will respond. I know my phone number looks like a telemarketer's number. People look at my number and be like, no, I'm not answering that call. But I always say, if you respond to me calling you or texting you and you see that phone number and you do decide to respond to it, it's meant for you to respond. It's a very important aspect of. I'm not changing my number if I don't have to for the world, but if you don't respond, hey, I can't do anything about it. But of course, we do want you to connect with Melanie. Now, I want you to know a couple of things. Number one, I really do appreciate you being here with us on today, taking time out of your busy schedule to chat with us here on GMAP Broadcast Network. Number two, I really appreciate you accepting the invitation to be a part of our broadcast network family. I know how much is going on out there, and it's sometimes very difficult to know whether or not someone will accept, believe, and trust in what you're doing. You made that step forward, and we thank you for that. And number three, we appreciate you allowing us to be a part of your journey. It has become a journey whether you know it or not. So,
Oh, yeah.
you got work to do, and you do have our phone number. We would appreciate it if you allow us to continue to be a part of this journey. If there's anything, Melanie, that we can do to assist you in any way, shape, form, or fashion, pick up that phone, call, text, chat, tweet, whatever you do. Make sure you reach out and connect with us. And of course, we want you to know that the answer will always be yes, and you'll never, ever have to ask us twice. I want you to know that from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate your beautiful smile today because it makes me feel good to know that someone has a reason to smile. And this is not something that you seem like you could control. You're smiling because you have to smile. I mean, it's just happening. So I really, really, really do appreciate that. What I'm gonna do before I let you go, I'm gonna move over. I'm gonna let you share with our viewers and listeners around the world exactly what is on your heart right here and right now. I'm moving over and say, Melanie Willis, the floor is yours.
Well, I just want to say, above all, like God really made this happen for us. We were just kind of in a weird place, and like all these blessings kept happening. And having a dream like this come true was just kind of mind boggling to me. I just never thought that something like this would happen. And then when you reached out, it was kind of like a perfect time to set this up and to get this book out to everybody. Just for my own dream and for my son. So I'm just so excited, and we're so blessed at all the things that God's providing us, and just getting it out there. And I just really appreciate the offer to come on here and talk to everybody, and just so grateful for all the things that we have going on right now.
You know what I always tell people, to God be the glory, and your destiny really was determined before your delivery. And God had a plan for you from the very beginning. And we appreciate you. You know, most of the time we hear that we're being appreciated by an individual, but we want you to know that we appreciate you. You didn't have to accept, but you did. You didn't have to do, but you did. And I can only say thank you for that. This is the beginning of many. This is the start of a lot to come. And of course, we are going to be inviting you back. We're going to be showing our support by making sure we get this information out to as many people as we possibly can. Don't you worry. We're going to do everything we can to make that happen. And of course, we want you to know that we encourage you to keep doing what you are doing. Don't stop. Don't let anybody discourage you. We want to be the first to say, keep it going. So, with that being said, if you may have missed any portion of this conversation, we want you to know that we will be re airing it. We will be placing it on our YouTube channel. We will be placing it on Facebook. It's going to be out there in the eyes and ears of the people for you to appreciate. We'll be sharing it with Melanie so she can send it out to all of her followers, family, and friends. So don't you worry. You will get an opportunity to see it. Melanie, we thank you so much for being here today. We want to encourage you and let you know we are going to be inviting you back to see how things are going. And of course, you continue to push forward and make sure you make every last child in your home happy. Every don't you if you don't publish a book for each child, I'm going to call you and say, Melanie, I am no longer connected with you. I'm dropping you, I'm deleting you, and I'm going to unfriend you. Oh my goodness, I tell you. But we appreciate you being here today. We will reach out to you and let you know where we go from here. But until then, you have a fantastic rest of your day. Be blessed and continue to be a blessing to others, okay?
Thank you so much.
I appreciate you. We look forward to talking to you again soon. You take care.
You too.
All right. Well, you heard it right here on the GMAP Broadcast Network, GMAP1.com. One of our featured authors, Melanie Willis, was here. And of course, do show your support. Make sure you do. Until then, you continue to be blessed and be a blessing. We'll talk to you all soon. More music is on the way right here on the number one faith-based motivational and inspirational broadcast platform in the country, GMAP1.com.